Since our last installment, we bring you back to the planet Pane. Our heroes' stories have all converged to the capital. They've met at a local bar just after the incident at the research outpost. From there on, they plot to what their next steps will be. The crew puts all their credits together. After the rations for the week, they're left with 8 credits. Not a lot for a ship. So, they remembered they had some loaded dice. They're going to tempt fate, see if they can get some winnings, gain enough to buy a ship. After a couple nights of gambling, they realized they weren't using the dice properly. Either way, they break even. While the other crew members are running around doing errands, Luna and Ruby decided to do a bit of training. Hardline decided to find a job. He had an old contact. His name was Drake Nylon. He represented Theatech Technology Global. Drake actually had a job for him. Provided him a job that actually paid 2 extra credits in danger pay. Provided a security detail as well as a private transport. It's a pretty good deal. He said he would think about it. As Hardline left, Zared caught his eye. Called him over. He was also looking for a crew to help him with the job. He said he was represented by Industrial Amalgamated. He said that his offer would actually be 3 credits in danger pay, plus whatever he found. And if he played his card right, he might negotiate the danger pay. Hardline thought about it, and let Zared know that he's interested and he'd probably do it. The rest of the crew went to the merchant district. Jeddah gazing in the horizon, thinking to herself, this is going to be the time that she leaves her world. And she struggled with that thought for a while. Meta, able to strike a bargain, gets a barrel of fuel for their new ship. And Tetra was able to swing a trade and a deal for a new shotgun. After trading, most of the crew reconvened in the merchant area. Jeddah stayed at the hideout with the supplies. The crew was walking around until in the horizon, they catch a glimpse of a group of unsavory gentlemen. After a far gaze, these were armed soldiers with military rifles, a rattle gun, and they look at them. And all of a sudden they notice they've just been caught in an ambush. Everyone scrambles to grab cover behind buildings. As you can see, the enemies from the left and our heroes are on the right, waiting for the first round of combat. As the enemy scrambles, Ruby gets the first shot off. Her blast rifle, she shoots at the lieutenant. Then another shot, followed by Tetra. Both of them miss. The lieutenant answers back with a shot of his own, striking Ruby. He shrugs it off. The remaining of the combatants try to get in a strategical position. Ruby tries to take another shot at the lieutenant, but misses. There was an exchange of fire between the mercenaries, Hardline, and Tetra. All the players missed with the exception of one of the mercenaries, managed to stun Hardline. At this point, Meta was able to outflank the lieutenant. She pulls around the corner, pulls out a shotgun, and shoots him at point blank. To her bad luck, he only gets a scrape. Hardline and Tetra get the jump on their mercs. They both shoot first and stun. They feel pretty good about themselves. The mercs retaliate and shoot back. Most of them miss, with the exception of one of the mercs, Downs Luna. response to Meta's failed shotgun attempt, both the lieutenant and one of the mercenaries get into a brawl with Meta. Meta attempts to strike, quickly gets hit 3 times and put out of commission. Ruby scents an outflanking. She quickly goes around the building and notices one of the mercs running towards hers. A quick blaster puts him out of commission. The mercs have now finally took their first casualty. In retaliation to his dead comrade, the specialist runs for cover. He then unloads his rattle gun on Ruby. At this range, she wasn't able to survive. There's another exchange of fire between Hardline, Tetra, and the 2 mercs. Everybody misses. The situation is looking grim. It's time to cut our losses. Tetra was the first to get away. She was able to flee without being seen. On the other hand, Hardline, he made his way behind the fence just to get caught by the lieutenant. A couple shots. He got a bit lucky though. It was just about to kill him, but the rattle gun took him out. Now this was a bad gig for our crew. Outclassed by mercenaries, outgunned by better soldiers. As the mercenaries picked up the remainder of the crew, put them in a transport, and locked them up. They stood outside the transport for a while, talking amongst each other, saying how easy this job was. What they didn't realize is Tetra snuck back, jumped in the transport, and drove away, with the entire crew member shackled in the back. They tried to run after the transport, but knowing that on foot they would never catch up. Tetra went back to the capital, ditched the transport, and then they fled back to their hideout. With the amount of casualties in this mission, they went to the medical center. After an examination by the doctor, Hardline was lucky. Shot hit his machine pistol and destroyed it. Ruby, as well, lucky. Handgun was placed in her flak jacket and the rattle gun destroyed her handgun and hit her flak vest. Meta, unfortunately, was not as lucky. With the point-blank shot at the leader took extra time to make sure that she was dismantled, destroying her. Luna was knocked out, but woke up uninjured. The crew decided to go to the merchants to buy some better supplies. They knew they had another encounter along the way. Counting their credits with 8 left, Tetra surprises them. She found 5 more credits in the transport when she rescued them, so now they have 13. They spend 1 credit on a rifle. Now they have a colony rifle, give them a bit more of an edge on the next encounter. Next stop was try to find a ship. They went to the shipyard to browse around, see what they had available. After a hard look, it wasn't good. Best they can find at this point was a merchant ship. 120 credits. Looking at their 12 credits, they're going to have to do a lot more jobs if they want to catch up. With a loud crash of glass, everyone in the room stays quietly still, staring at Jeddah with the fear in her eyes. As she stares at the monitor, the sirens going off. The Unity have announced that they have put a blockade around the planet, no ships coming or leaving. It is a known fact that the Bloodstorm mercs have arrived on planet. There's a search party looking for them. But Jetta knows that those Bloodstorm mercs are out for her. As a nomad, she made a deal that went south. She got away, but mercenaries vowed to track her down. The Hardline Syndicate had a rough go at their first mission. You think that they can turn it around? On next turn, let's see if our heroes can triumph, or will they be stuck with the Bloodstorm mercs taking them out? Or do you think the local mercenary squadron will go for a second round at them and finish them off? Or maybe it's going to be the abandoned team that they left in the research outpost. Stay tuned and catch us on our next turn.